Rise and shine. It's your daily business tech boost with me, Charly Leetham. Merry Christmas, guys. It's getting close to Christmas. Yesterday, I had a chat about the things that we needed to consider as we get close to Christmas, and the fact that we're going to be seeing a whole heap of more security incidences occurring against our business. And I thought, it's probably a good time now to get into the series that I had planned about cybersecurity and making sure that your business is secure, and the things you need to think about with security and cybersecurity particularly. Today, by the way, it's episode 335. We're going to actually start the series talking about the importance of cybersecurity for small business. I am going to refer you to episode 20 of this year, 2024, episode 20. It was this interview I did with Terry, and I'm looking at my notes over here on the other screen, Zemniak. He is a part-time CSO, Chief Security Officer, for businesses, and he's got a wealth of experience and advice for people during that interview. So I do encourage you to go and have a listen to it or watch it. It was fascinating, and it'll help you with the grounding for some of the things I'm going to be talking about here. Now, I'm going to give a bit of a caveat here. Anything I'm telling you comes from experience. It comes from knowledge. It is not going to be the be-all and end-all to secure your business. It is advice that I want you to take and act on, and then get further advice on. You do need to make sure that you understand the intricacies of what it is you're doing and why it's important that you are doing these things. Don't just take my stuff as gospel and say, oh, Charly said to go and do this. I'm saying here are the things that you need to think about, and you need to go and educate yourself about, and you need to get advice on. So please bear that in mind. Why is cybersecurity such an issue for small business? Why does it matter? Well, there are financial and operational risks for small businesses due to cyber attacks, due to ransomware and data breaches. There is a whole heap of legislation in Australia about data breaches and the mandatory reporting of data breaches. And data breaches, if you're not quite sure what I mean by a data breach, it's someone gets access to your, in inverted commas, database, and they get access to personal information for your customers, or personal information for people who have that you've collected. They may not be your customers, they might be prospects, they might, I don't know. So if that information in any way, shape or form has been breached, there are legislative requirements that we need to meet as businesses in reporting those data breaches. So we as small businesses need to understand that. Now, the financial risk to us with all of this is it's not just the lost sales because our systems are down because they got hacked and people can't use them. It is then the ongoing impact of, we've got to do the reporting, we've got to clean the system up, we've got to make sure that we've got everything secure again and that there's no back doors. There's a whole heap of things that flow on once you've had a hack or been hacked. There's a whole heap of things that flow on from it. If I can just draw it back to something that you might be able to relate to, just think about when your credit card is compromised and someone goes and uses your credit card, and you've got to cancel your credit card. So it's not just cancelling the credit card, you've got to cancel the credit card. That then automatically makes any payments that are made against that, any automated payments that are made against that, they fail, and you have to go and deal with those. If you're like me, you don't have a complete list of everyone that you've got listed that automatically takes money out of that credit card. You look at it each month and go, oh yeah, that's right, that one's coming out. That's where that one's paid from. So they start to fail. So then you have to go and clean up the account there and say, look, I've got a new credit card coming. Oh, well, I don't have the new credit card at the moment. I've got to wait for that to be issued. I've got to wait for it to get to me. Then I've got to go and change the PIN, however you do that. Thank goodness there's ways of doing that now that are a bit easier. And then you have to go and update the information. So you've got this whole flow-on effect of one seemingly small thing has this whole flow-on effect, and that costs you money. It costs you money in time and opportunity, pretty much. So what are the things that you can do to start understanding the impact of cybersecurity on your business, and what the things that you need to be worried about, the things that you need to be considering? I'm going to suggest that you do a risk assessment. You need to identify the vulnerabilities specific to your business and say, okay, so if my email list gets hacked, what does that mean? What information am I holding in my email list? Do I have dates of birth? Do I have phone numbers? Do I have addresses? What do I have? I've got email addresses, clearly. What information do I have in that list? And what would happen if that list was compromised? What happens if they get into my e-commerce site and get access to my customers that are in my e-commerce site? Maybe they're different databases. What does that mean? What happens if they access my phone and get access to the contacts on my phone? So I'm just giving you some really, really high level things here. You need to sit down and look at every aspect of your business and say, what would happen if this is compromised? And you need to look at what the vulnerabilities are. So we're talking about risks, what the risks are, but you need to look at how these systems can be compromised. The other part of doing a risk assessment is then what is the probability that these systems, so there's the possibility and then there's the probability. What is the likelihood these systems will be targeted, and what is the likelihood that these systems will be compromised? This is where you may need to actually engage with someone to help you do it, because you may not understand the ins and outs of it. You may not understand the complexities. You might not, there's an awful lot with your systems, as I'm sure you understand. So really, I'm saying, make sure you know what your systems are, make sure you know what you have that can be compromised, and then work through each system and work out what's the possibility and what's the probability that they can and will be compromised. You need to understand the common threats that are inherent in your business or will affect your business. So I've got notes and I'm always looking at the notes going, I can add this and I can add that. I've just got to slow down and make sure that I get them right. So phishing and malware are probably two of the largest ones that we would consider as a major threat. And the reason I would consider phishing and malware as a common threat, and one of the major ones I'd consider, is they're the easiest to implement. Phishing particularly, because phishing has a real human component to it. It requires a human to be able to get that information out of, and it's really easy sometimes to just set the situation up. I'm not going to say manipulate, but just set the situation up just right that someone will go, oh, it's this, without even realizing that they're giving out crucial information. So phishing and malware would be two common threats, but you need to sit down and understand what the common threats are to your business. Again, once we've done the cybersecurity risk assessment, you need to look at the threats that are available. Sorry, the threats that are there for your business and how you can protect against them, and then what the cost of implementing those things are, and then implementing them. Work out the most cost-effective way of implementing something to protect against those threats. Okay, so I've spoken about, why it matters. I've spoken about understanding the common threats. Getting those two things are going to send you a long way along the path to actually protecting your business. Once you've got those two pieces of information, you can, and I mentioned it just then, you can start to look at ways that you can mitigate the risks to your business, and you can look at the costs against them. There are a number of cost-effective investments that you can make to keep yourself secure. Things like antivirus software, staff training. That would be a key one to me, is making sure your staff are aware of their involvement and their impact in making sure that your business is safe. Firewalls, what else is there? Oh, crypto lockers, all of those things, not cryptocurrency, crypto lockers, all of those things that can help you protect your business. Now, some of them are going to cost a lot of money, and you're not going to get, some of them are going to cost a lot of money, but the benefit they offer you is very low. So that's one that I wouldn't be looking at. I would be looking at the ones that you can implement. They give you a reasonable level of security and mitigate a reasonable level of risk. Once you start to understand all of these things, you can then start to put your plan in place and start to roll these things out. Layered approaches to security is really important. Looking at what the free and low cost tools available to you is really important. And again, if you don't know and if you need help, reach out to someone. Honestly, you can get your 30-minute free consultation with me, and I'll have a chat to you about the things that we can look at and the things that you should be looking at and considering, and the things that you can be doing. There are things that, you know, we're going to say, well, we've got to look into that more, but why don't you go off and get this list of things together? That's going to get you a little bit further along the line. Okay, now that I've said all of those things, the one thing that I haven't said in all of this, and I really need to say and ensure lands, so I'm going to say it slowly and hopefully I can make it land for you. You are never going to mitigate 100% of the risks. You are never going to be completely secure. If someone comes along to you, or if you see something that says you will never be hacked again, they're lying. They may not know they're lying, but they are lying. The best that anyone can do is give you a level of security that will reduce the risk that you undertake, that you experience. It's really important to understand that you're not going to be 100% bulletproof. You're not going to be 100% risk proof. You are still going to have risk. The idea of taking this approach with small business particularly, but even in your own personal life, is to take the level of risk from here and lower it down without emptying your wallet. Okay, so I hope that lands for you. If that last statement hasn't landed and you're still a little confused about what I'm trying to say, please get in touch, leave comments on this video wherever you're watching or listening to it. Come across to my locals community, askcharlyleetham.locals.com. Join the conversation there. Book your free 30-minute consultation with me. I would love to have a conversation with you and see how we can help, or, you know, just give you some advice that will move you forward. You can contact us on our social media channels. If you DM the social media channels, I will respond. I might be a little slow in responding, but I will respond. I would love to have conversations. I love talking about any of this sort of stuff. It's my passion. I love it. And if I can help you out by talking about it, then I really, really would love to do that. Please, guys, like this video. It does help me. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I drop these episodes every morning at 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you ring the notification bell, you will get the notification on your phone to say, hey, just dropped another one, and you can press play and listen to it wherever you're going. And if you can, please leave a review. That would be fantastic. It would certainly help me understand how I can help you better. As always, guys, I wish you a really good day. Have a safe day today. We are getting closer and closer towards the end of the year for Christmas. You're going to see me wearing my Christmas t-shirts more and getting into the season, because it's my favorite time of year. And I will see you all tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to be talking more about phishing and some of the things you can do with phishing. And that's not going out and fishing for mackerel or anything. We're talking about phishing within business. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.